back to the Her Life BLOGCAST. Hey, Em.
Hi.
I'm so excited today. No, I like it.
Okay.
Today is our 4th of July special. I am so excited. Cheers to you, Em.
Cheers. I love the 4th of July weekend. There's just something about it. I don't know. I feel myself. I don't know.
Best time of the year. It's like full summer. Today we're going to be talking more about Hinge dating because we're on kind of an online dating series in the BLOGCAST here. Today's episode is entitled Left on Red, White, and Blue.
That's amazing. I don't know how you came up with that, but when I read that, I was like, oh my God.
Emma, it just came to me. It was like, what can I do with red, white, and blue? I said this to Kevin because he texted me about it. He's like, wow, what a title. I was like, honestly, didn't know what I wanted the 4th of July special episode to be about. But then when I thought I left on red, white, and blue, I was like, it's going to be about ghosting.
It's perfect. It's amazing.
I'm so excited. But before we kick off, let's do a what you drinking because we are celebrating. Emma, what you drinking?
Sure. I'm drinking a Fisher's Island lemonade. And if you're from Connecticut or maybe Long Island, you kind of know a Fisher's Island. But Rachel, it's right next to Mystic. Like you can see Fisher's Island. So I feel like I have a connection to this. Mystic is like, it could be a whole episode, quite honestly.
We should do a Mystic.
It's pretty funny, but it's a special place for both of us. My family's there and we have like a family reunion, etc. Anyways, on the island, I guess they make this spiked lemonade with vodka and whiskey. It's 9% alcohol. 9%.
That's how it is in Mystic.
No, seriously, that's what I'm saying. So, yeah, you kind of have to be careful with it.
We know it all too well. That's a great choice. Yeah. Perfect summer drink. I love it. I'm going back to the old tried and true, my cider boys, apple and orange. Because it really does remind me of Clinton Hall, and there's nowhere I'd rather be right now.
Oh.
I just love a cider. I can't even help it. It's my favorite.
Ooh.
Cheers. Happy
Cheers.
July. Hope whoever's listening is sitting somewhere eating, having some burgers and dogs, firing up the grill, drinking a beer, living your best summer life.
Perfect.
Okay, let's do kind of a speed round of reflections this week because we have a lot to get into. Emma, do you want to kick us off with the H, happy?
Yes, happy. Well, it's kind of going off of our little conversation here, but 4th of July weekend, I don't know, there's just something about it. It's just like sit back, relax, don't think about work, don't really think about anything, get a little drunk, heck, do something stupid.
We're young. It's the 4th of July. There are no rules. Like, this really is your weekend to live your truest life.
Exactly. Just be careful.
Yes, totally. We are going to do a combined excited this week because, okay, I'll preface it by saying this. I recently got a little piece of career news, which is very exciting. I haven't accepted or declined yet. There's lots of decisions to be made, but the moral of the story is I'm excited because I could be in New York with Emma sooner than I thought.
Crazy. And I'm just so proud of you. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, kind of taking a little veering off the course I thought I would be on, but maybe we're just going to go with it. I don't know. By the time this is out, I'm going to have made a decision.
I know. I was going to say, maybe you can
hit my line about that. I don't know, man. I'll have a whole real deal announcement episode if that's what we're going to do. But I'm excited about the future in general. Things are coming together, feeling alive, feeling stressed the hell out, but in a good way.
Good. That's what you should be.
I'm also excited to be here with you, Emma. I forgot to mention also, it's weird that it's just the two of us. We had some scheduling conflict issues. This was supposed to be a full episode full of guests, Hannah, everything. It just didn't work out. Here we are. We're going to make the best of it. Happy 4th of July. Okay, and finally, like we said, rapid round of her reflections. My realization is this. Emma, I'm excited to share.
Okay.
I decided that I'm doing this thing that's kind of like a statute of limitations on blog posts, and I'll explain what I mean. In my mind, after a certain number of months, even sometimes a certain number of weeks, I'm no longer embarrassed about the love affairs that I detail on the blog, because it's they've already been out. It's no longer fresh. So what I've started doing is sending them to the guys that they're about, months after the fact.
Oh, really?
as a means to like shoot my shot and just like be like, hey, LOL, just came across this thing, wanted to share. Like, I feel like it's kind of a move.
But I was going to say, could you imagine receiving like a podcast though saying, hey, you're in this and it's like about love too?
That's what I'm saying. Do you remember what?
Good move. Good move.
Say his name because I feel like he wouldn't mind.
Okay.
Remember when we went for Hannah's birthday to Rumble, Miles_Kicks? I wrote a whole frickin' like paragraph about this super duper hot. I hate that I just said super duper hot. I'm really sorry, but like he's super hot boxing instructor who we were just like drooling over the whole time.
Well, you were definitely drooling. Wow.
Super hot.
But it was like what, 7:30 in the morning, and we were like, what is happening?
He took our Instagrams. Like we were flirty. He followed us back on Insta. Like I was feeling alive, and I did this whole post of like, Miles, if you're reading, like let's get together. And like all I'm saying is me and Miles kept in touch. So like this was like months ago already because it was like beginning of quarantine. I was like doing blog edits and stuff and I found it and I was like, I'm just going to send it to him. So I sent it to him and he responded. I have his direct quote. You're actually a great writer. Thanks, Miles. Like, why are you surprised? I hate when people are like, oh, you're actually a good writer. This is actually kind of good. I'm like, thanks. But honestly, thanks. So I hope he's flattered. Nothing really.
I was going to say, super flattering.
I recently did it to another guy, the guy that I randomly ran into in Brooklyn. Remember that? Before our wine tasting?
Oh my gosh.
So I came across that blog post the other day. I was actually like doing edits. I didn't like seek it out. And I texted him and I was just like, hey, want to see a thing that's like kind of embarrassing, but ultimately very endearing and sweet? And he was just like, sure. Like, what a weird text to get. And he was like, sure. So I sent him the link and he's like, again, I have a direct quote. OMGGG, ha ha ha. I love that. That's all I got, but I'll take it.
I was gonna say, like, honestly, wow, that is a move.
I just figured, like, I don't know. I write these
What's
things.
the worst that could happen? They just don't respond?
Right. And everyone knows, like, I'm in love with 12 people every given day. Like, it's not that unique. I'm sorry. Like, there's a lot of posts.
Listen, boys.
So anyway, Miles, that other guy from Brooklyn, I hope you're doing well. They're both super cute. I hope you're listening. Okay, that's my realization. Listening out. I don't know how to transition out. I always make it very awkward for myself. I do, however, want to do a quick segment with you, Emma, just on like amplifying Black voices and maybe just spicing up our Instagram feeds a little bit with some voices that maybe not everyone is hearing at this moment. Before I say that, last week Kay and I talked a little bit about books that we were reading, Black authors, specifically Black women who are really just inspiring and writing really great stuff right now. We talked how cool it is to be having this like really cool national book club kind of thing where everyone's kind of reading the same things and talking about it online. But I came across this cool text club thing. If you text, I'm going to say the number, 409-404-0403. If you just text that number anything, it'll give you a list of options and you can pick a genre from like the options it gives you. Say you're looking for fiction or like romance. I think I did romance. So click like response 7 for romance and it'll give you a book by a Black author in whatever genre you pick and a Black owned bookstore at which you can buy the book online.
That's so cool. I'm going to do that like right now.
Yeah, I'll say the number again because it feels like an ad in one day.
Yeah.
Have ads. That's text 409-404-0403. Text it anything and you'll get that automated list and then you'll get some new reads.
So you just text anything, just be like, hi.
I texted an exclamation point my first time.
Oh, okay.
And then it'll give you the list. You pick the number based on the list of what genre you want. And you have
beautiful
a book and a link. It's so easy.
Wow, that's amazing.
So easy. We'll put that in the show notes too, because I just think it's a good little easy way to find new stuff to read. A lot of them are available online for free too, if you want to go that route.
Perfect.
On a tablet, like on your tablet. Anyway, so I wanted to blurb that. I found that on Instagram. Instagram is such a wealth of knowledge these days. But I have a couple ones I just want to rapid fire. First of all, Kerry Washington. I'm following her. I've always followed her. I didn't know this, but she was a yoga instructor before she was famous. So she's been doing these like yoga, like very beginner level breathing, meditation, yoga exercises every now and again on her Insta Live. And I just feel so, and she always like dedicates the practice to something very meaningful. And I just feel so zen. Kerry Washington is so cool.
And you've been into yoga too.
I've been getting more into yoga, and you know what? My entire body hurts all of the time.
Oh.
I'm so sore. I'm not used to using these muscles, Emma. You're a strong woman. No, genuinely.
It's very difficult.
It's
Sorry,
so hard.
Back to.
It's hard, yeah. But Kerry Washington, we love. Give her a follow. Do her Insta Lives. Another person who's been killing it on the Insta Live game, a Fordham girl, Ice Young. Ice Young is also the coolest person. I kind of know. I don't want to say like we're best friends because we're not, but I kind of wish we were. Like she's just doing really cool things. She always has a cool guest on her Insta Lives. I think she's been doing them every week. I think on Fridays. Give her a follow. I don't know. It's just so cool to see someone that you know using the network that she's built within Fordham, within her career aspirations. She wants to be a sports reporter kind of situation.
Oh, cool.
She's always like calling the games and stuff. She just is like so, I don't know. She's just like so much smarter than anyone I know. And I think she's saying really important things, and it's cool to see her perspective being like within the peer group. So give her a follow if you're not already. And finally, Elaine Welteroth. She's my favorite person in the world.
Oh, you love her.
I absolutely love her. I'm still reading her book. I'm like trying to pace myself so I don't finish it because I love her so much. Follow Elaine, follow Ice, follow Kerry. That's my list.
Kind of going off like local town hero. I follow my spin instructor. Her name is Erica, and she works at Cycle Bar, which I think is around the country. But I don't know, taking her class, I'm just always absolutely inspired by her, and I feel just so amazing after the class. And she's been posting some really inspiring things, and also just doing spin in general. But I also feel like just in general for Instagram, I guess the health influencers or like food influencers, there's not many African Americans. So I think, I don't know, I'm just trying to kind of educate myself more and try to follow more like health influencers. So I definitely just started with someone that I kind of knew personally. So we'll shout out her Instagram as well.
We love Erica. Yeah, that's a great pick. I think it's good. And definitely hit us up if you have people that you want to like highlight that maybe we should be following. I think there's so many resources, and my Instagram feed has definitely changed since everything, with being more intentional with new people that I'm following, and it's been really encouraging and inspirational. So thank you to all of you wonderful ladies. Thank you, Emma, for sharing that. I like that segment. We should keep that one around. Oh, okay. Shall we dive into the main event, Emma?
We shall.
We have
God.
This is going to be so good. Essentially, the overarching question of today is, do the same rules apply now that we are quarantine dating? Is it okay to ghost? Left on red, white, and blue.
That is so good.
Initial reactions, Emma, how do you feel? Are they the same rule? Like, just give me a yes or no. Do you feel like it's the same? Is it totally a whole new ball game? What do you think?
I think the rules still apply. I don't think you should ghost anybody. It's just a crummy way to get out of a situation in general. And I think especially in quarantine, since you have a phone, at least you can text. At least. Like, just be like, sorry, bye. Like, even that is fine.
Even a boy bye is fine.
Yeah, like a boy bye is okay. But just don't ghost.
Okay.
I just don't get it.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, and I think that's just like objectively a good thing to believe in, but I also have definitely been there. I don't think I'm a ghoster so much as a breadcrumber. Have you heard this? You know breadcrumbing. You know it even if you don't know the term. I'll explain. Okay.
Oh.
A breadcrumbing in the dating world is essential. It's kind of, I guess, sort of similar to a slow fade where you're like phase out, which maybe I do. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that. Yes.
Yeah, but a breadcrumb is more specifically like, it sounds so bad, but it's something a lot of people do, including myself. Breadcrumbing is kind of like you every now and again will like shoot out a text or shoot a snap to be like, hey, thinking of you, or like kind of keep people on the line. There's definitely people that do this to me, but I've also definitely done it, and I think it's easier in quarantine because it's like you got a whole plethora of people and you're like, ooh, haven't talked to this one in a minute. Is this just me? I feel like I'm exposing myself, and I'm sorry. Don't think less of me. I just think we're all bored. Like, how you doing?
Wait, so what is it called again? I'm sorry.
Breadcrumbing. So you're like leaving
Breadcrumbing.
trails.
Oh,
like right when you think I'm ghosted, it's like, oh, how are you?
Oh, interesting.
It's so bad.
Wow.
And I don't think I do it in a malicious way. I think it's just like
sometimes pure like
different relationship.
Yeah.
Like, right, like say you're like really into this one person. I don't want to say flavor of the week, but like kind of flavor of the week. And then you like forget about the other ones, and then you're just like, oh man, like how's he doing? Let's check it.
So right.
So I don't think it's as malicious as it sounds, and I think we all do it to some extent.
I agree.
I think we do it with friends. I think people do
100%. 100%.
We've talked about this, like dating trends that happen within like just regular friendships and how nobody talks about how that can be potentially toxic and worrisome. I think that's a whole other episode, genuinely.
I agree. Oh, let's put that down.
Gaslighting in friendships. This could be a whole, like it's a thing. We'll get into it. Okay, but anyway, those are my initial thoughts on ghosting in a quarantine. Breadcrumbing is where it's at. Okay, not really. Like, don't do it. I'm just saying I think that's kind of what I've noticed about myself. I have some stats for you, though, Em. I'm so excited to get your reactions. So, one poll, I don't know what one poll is, but I guess they're polling polls people, polled 2,000 Americans in May 2020 and found the following. 41% of singles have joined online dating scenes since the pandemic began. I'm honestly surprised it's not higher. I would have expected more than 41%. But I get it. That's not shocking to me. What is shocking to me, Emma, 52% of people already in relationships have downloaded dating apps. People who are not quarantining with their partners, but who do in fact have a partner, are getting back on the dating scene. Just, I guess, to see what's out there. I don't know.
That's saucy.
Isn't that insane? So that's 52% of the people polled. Isn't that crazy? So that made me
talking to their partner about this, though.
Well, that's what I wonder. I doubt it.
Oh my goodness.
Me think, are some of these homeboys out here that I'm swiping on?
Don't say that. No, don't say that, Rachel.
You gotta think about it. So I think what this taught me is this needs to be a question that you ask. It can't be a given that just because someone's on a dating app, they're single. Right? Anyway.
Oh, what's your favorite cheese? Oh, and do you have a boyfriend or girlfriend?
Literally. What do you do for fun? And also, are you engaged? Like,
and are you, oh, okay.
I know. Anyway, something to think about, everybody. For the record, I am, in fact, single.
I am single. Listen, people. Do you hear that?
Make no mistake, we are single. Okay.
Numbers will be in the bio.
Yeah, right? Hit us up on Instagram or Snapchat, whatever you prefer. Another phenomenon that's been happening since quarantine is returning to the ex. You know, going back to what's familiar. I get this. This makes sense. 37% of singles have reached out to ex-lovers since the pandemic. Go for it. Interestingly, about 33% of people in a relationship have also reached out to their exes.
Do you know if they're quarantining with the person?
I think this was all, you're in a relationship but not quarantining with them. I don't think they polled people.
That's crazy to me. Just don't be in a relationship, bros.
Right.
Sisters.
Right. Or like if you want someone to text/sext or whatever you want to do, like pick your partner. Like that's a good
exactly.
use.
Oh my god.
No, I was shocked about this. Anyway, I'm here just relaying the facts. Okay. Here's another interesting one. 54%, so more than half of people who have reached out to their ex since the quarantine, I call these the ex-reacher-outers, have reported, quote, reigniting a spark between them and that past partner. And that is what the majority of the virtual dates that have been happening have been between former partners, not necessarily new people who are just meeting on the apps, but virtual dates that are happening between people who once had a flame.
Interesting.
I wouldn't have.
I feel like that would be really interesting though, but like I would tell myself not to get like emotional about it or like try to have feelings after it, but it would be nice to kind of like catch up, I guess, if you're in that position or like you feel like safe to do so. But
do you know that song? It's a Julia Michaels song, which, by the way, Julia Michaels, I think, is my, like, girl crush of all. I think she's the coolest person who's ever existed. She's got all those tattoos. I remember one time sending you pictures being like, how hot is she? And you were just like, okay, this is the weirdest fuck, but I just am so into Julia Michaels. But anyway, she has that song with her boyfriend, If the World Was Ending. You'd come over, right? You know that song?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's like TikTok.
Oh, okay. Oh, see? Okay, it's a TikTok trend. But love that song, and it's true. It's like, I think that's the comfort in your ex, like someone who you loved, who it's like, the world is going through some crazy things. It makes sense to return to the familiar. Right?
I agree, 100%. I don't know. That's interesting, though. That is a large percentage.
Yeah, I haven't done it, but I don't have an ex to reach out to.
I wouldn't even dare do that with my ex either. So we're good. No, heck no. We'll never. I know that he's in the same town as me, but I will never.
One day you're gonna run into him.
I really hope not, because I glowed up. He did not glow up. Okay?
Get on her level.
Exactly.
I love it. Okay, no, I love where you stand on this. This is we are not in the percentages here. The study does not apply to you and I. I just think these are fantastic I'm so intrigued by these numbers.
Thank you for doing this research.
Oh, of course. I was so into it. It was like, I was so into it. Another thing, which I think totally makes sense, and I'm not surprised at all, the lowering the bar phenomenon. A lot of online daters are reporting being less picky about who they're swiping on or saying yes to in quarantine. I've done that. Have you?
I think you kind of have to, because it's like, again, you can't really judge a book by its cover, and it really does apply to this one, because like some people are just not photogenic or etc., but they have the personality.
Right. I also just think it's like, might as well have a bigger pool of options. You know what I'm saying? And I also think there's less pressure to like actually do anything. Like there's way more of like a trial and error, I guess I want to say. I think there always is with these apps, but I think especially now it's like the assumption is not that you're going to meet up anytime soon. So that gives you a little bit more.
That's true.
And I think that's why. But I think it's opening a lot of doors for a lot of people. Interesting. All right, so those are my facts. Just to get us like, you know, warmed up to this conversation about what the dating scene is like right now. But now, Emma, this is my favorite. I want to do X's and O's. We haven't done X's and O's in weeks, but we're going to do.
Wow.
I know. We're going to do X's and O's COVID Bro Edition. Shout out to the COVID Bros. Hope everyone's staying healthy and safe. To remind any new listeners, or to remind old listeners, X's and O's is a segment where Emma and I dish on the things we like, oh damn, and the things we are not into at all. X that right out. So, do you want to start? You can
sure. I guess my question here, Rachel, though, for the COVID Bro Edition, you're talking about like the people we're talking to right now, like
not people who have coronavirus.
I understand.
Yeah, I just mean like people we're talking to in Corona season.
Corona season, I understand. Okay, now I kind of get it, because I was like, wait, what is this gonna be?
Yeah, no, sorry.
Anyways, so this is I'll start with an X, bad, right? Oh, this is weird. I don't know.
Our segment.
I know. Okay. Anyways.
Oh, do you not want to do this because it's kind of a call out?
It is very much a call out.
I'm going to start so we ease in. Or get it over with. Rip off the Band-Aids, Fold.
Okay, fine. As per suggested by Rachel, a direct quote from a person that I've been talking to is, "I'm not going to ghost you if that happens, ... Yeah.
Can I give my reaction exactly
how I did? I would love your reaction. Yeah, please.
Here's what this guy wanted from Emma. He texts her, yeah, if it doesn't work out, I'm never going to ghost you. I'm not going to do that to you. Do you want a gold star for not being a major asshole? You are giving me basic levels of human decency. letting me know if you don't like me anymore, and you're expecting me to be like, what a great guy, he's so sweet, he's not gonna ghost me. Go to hell. Are you kidding?
I know.
I'm so against this.
I know, you're so right. And I told him, I was like, well, yeah, I mean, ghosting's pretty bad, so you shouldn't even say that word. Like,
it was a curse word. And then here I am in the beginning of the episode being like, I do ghost sometimes. Like, I know I'm being a little bit hypocritical, but also misogyny evens it out. Like, girls can do it.
There you go. Yeah, I don't know. It's something about it. It's just like I'm very sensitive to that. It just hurts. It just really hurts.
I also just think it's so pompous to be like, oh, I would never. I'm so much better than that. It's like, yeah, you should be. Like, do you want a cookie? Like, I can't deal with that kind of thinking. It's so like, what the hell? Ex.
I agree. Another ex is, can I say this out loud?
Say anything you want.
The classic unwarranted. No, I can't. My dad will be listening.
Don't send us pictures of your naked body if we don't
There
have
you go.
to.
Perfect. That's it. That's
Unsolicited is the key.
Exactly.
It's not the key. I'm not saying that's what we want. I'm saying the key word in that sentence is unsolicited. You can't just be, and for the main reason why I feel strongly about this, I could be in my kitchen. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
I could be at the breakfast table. My dad's sitting next to me. You're going to send me a dick pic right now?
Oh, you said it.
Homeboys be sending dick pics at weird times, too.
I understand.
Sorry. I'm sorry, Mr. Spoldy. We just had to say it. We have to cover all the bases.
Literally.
Okay, stop. Oh, but yes, I have to X to that as well. Can I move on to my ex? Because
Please do.
My
it kind of works.
Yeah, my ex overall is like the jump to sexting. I think since coronavirus and the pandemic, the assumption has been like, oh, so what are you wearing? Like the second you start talking to somebody, and it's like,
everybody's so horny.
And it's not that I don't get it. It's just like, you wouldn't do this in real life. Do you know what I'm saying? So like, don't make it different. I think what I'm gathering from this conversation so far is that like the real world dating rules still apply.
I agree. The thing is though, Rachel, I must say, like, I feel like the jump to sexting is kind of like the parallel to like the jump to like just going way too fast in the beginning, like the hookup in the beginning.
I guess like the guys who are jumping to sexting are the guys who just wanted to sleep with you to begin with.
Yeah.
So in my mind, that should be an easy way to be like, he's in the no pile. But do you think I listen to myself? No.
I was gonna say, we're have fun.
Those are lasting. Hey guys, if you're listening, no, I'm just kidding. It's not like lots of them.
Hit us up. Oh God, this is awful.
So sorry. No, but it's true. I think I've been shocked by that because I think a lot of the things I was excited about this online dating is like, okay, there's like no pressure to sleep with anybody right now. It's literally impossible.
Right. Exactly.
Okay? Like, that was what I was relieved to hear. And now homeboys being like, what would you do if I were there? I'm like, I'm in my childhood bedroom. Stop. Right?
My sister's literally sleeping right there.
My sister's asleep next to me. This is weird. X.
I'm wondering how this will all like play out when this is all over.
I just wonder.
That's just my thought. What?
I'm wondering who's still going to be around.
Exactly.
This is insane.
Really insane.
I'm just like so confused.
Happy 4th of July. I can do my O. You want me to do my O?
Do it.
Having a conversation longer than 2 weeks. I think that says something.
Absolutely. Means you're more than just the flavor of the week. It stood the test of time.
Exactly. But then also it's like bored, you know, not bored, like I'm not bored, but just like, are they bored with me and they just feel like they should just continue talking? But I don't know.
No one's going to keep talking to you if they're bored with you.
True. Unless they're like,
your head, girl?
Yeah, you're right. I think, I'm just in my head. I would say having a what?
Yeah, no, I think it takes two to tango also. Like, you both need to be invested, and I think the 2-week mark is a good thing because it means that you didn't run out of things to talk about. You're interested in now the day-to-day, not just the, like, tell me your story. It's like, what'd you do today? Like, I think when you transition to that, it's like, it feels more real to me.
That's a good point. Good point.
You know?
Good O.
Yeah.
Good O addition.
I like that. That's a good O. My other O, this is, like, more general, voice memos. I love. All right, I'm going to tell an anecdote. You want to hear it? There was this guy. Can I say his name? He unfollowed me on Instagram, so I don't mind.
Okay, there you go.
Salvo. He was from
Salvo.
Italy, and he had a nice accent. You know how I feel? Hey, Mr. Spaldi. So, listen. He had this great accent. He would send me nothing but voice notes. He was like, let me send you a voice note. I can't do an accent.
What was that?
Day and night, on text, on Snap. We only communicated via voice note, and it was so much fun. And also, Emma and I do this all the time. Me, Emma, Hannah, we are voice noting all the time. It's so much more fun than texting. It's easier.
I love a good voice memo. My gosh.
It's like a phone call extended. Kevin and I have been voice memoing. It's good for all kinds of relationships. I think it's a great way to keep relationships not like lovey, any kind of relationships, fresh and new in a pandemic, because it feels like a phone call but extended throughout your convenience in the day. Normalize sending voice memos.
And you get like the emotion behind it too.
It's so nice.
Yeah, we do love a good voice memo. I feel like majority of our texts are voice memos.
I agree, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
And it's funny to look back on too.
Yes, it's so cute to have. It's so nice. More voice memos, to that. I have one more X.
Yes. Okay, sure.
This is going to also expose me, because I think it just shows that the people who do this to me just aren't that interested, and that's okay. I'm really coming to terms with the he's just not that into you situation in my life, and I feel like that's made me very mature. However, I saw like a tweet the other day that was like, open my Snap, you're not a celebrity. Because apparently it's a trend to just like leave the Snap unopened for hours, sometimes days. And there are specific people who do this, and it's so freaking annoying, because it's just like you're posting stories. Like, you want me to know you're on your phone. You're on your phone all the freaking time. We all are. But you're not opening it, probably because you don't like me, and that's okay. Just like, just tell me. Or just like, leave me unopen. Let me on red, white, and blue. Like, I'm so sick. Open my Snap. You're not a celebrity. Like, who do you think you are, X?
Who do you think?
And also, I've tried to do this. I've tried to do it back. I was like, yeah, you didn't open my Snap for days. I'll wait 3 days. I can't do that.
It's not possible. Right. I don't know. I feel like that's not to be sexist or anything, like it's a guy thing. I don't know. I really don't. I mean, maybe someone can tell me, no, it's also a girl thing, but I literally have not heard from any girl who's done that before.
Nah, it's only guys. And I think they do it to inflate their own egos, to be like, I'm too busy. I get so many snaps from so many hoes. Like, I can't, like, get over yourself. And let me be one of your hoes. No, I'm just totally kidding.
Let us in.
Oh my God. Okay, so that's my X's and O's.
That was fun.
COVID bros are listening. I hope you learned a little bit about what I'm looking for here. So thank you.
I like that.
Okay, Emma. Now I want to do a step-by-step of building a relationship on the internet, because I feel like both of us have kind of done this to different degrees. Very different degrees. You and I are not on the same page here. But I feel like we both have like experiences that we can speak on.
Sure.
So, number one, choosing your app of choice. We are both Hinge girls, ride or die. Have you been on anything else?
I was going to say I was like a Tinder person, and not for like hookups or anything, but I liked the ease of it. Just because, like, Rachel, like I would download these apps and like delete them 2 hours later.
Yeah.
So
very hit and miss.
Very hit or miss. Yeah. But now I would say I would be a Hinger.
Yeah.
Not a Bumble. Bumble do better. I don't know.
I know. I want to support Bumble with every ounce of my soul, because it's like female empowerment. I love that women are running a business. Like, I love everything it stands for, except for it sucks. Like, I actually heard
it's really good to find friends.
I was just going to say that. Definitely.
Like, people do use that.
Bumble BFF is a thing. Okay, good to know. We'll use that on our friend episode when we talk about the dating tendencies with friends. We'll get into, maybe we'll do Bumble BFF to give it a test run. We'll see.
Okay, that actually would be funny.
It so would. So, okay, so step one, app of choice, Hinge. Moving on to step two. Say you match with a guy, conversation is flowing, you're feeling great. what is the move? Do you stay on Hinge? Do you get on Snap? Do you do numbers? Do you jump right to a call? Like, what is the vibe, Emma?
Oh, okay. Well, I got this advice from you, Rachel, and Sarah Brown. So
Down to Zoom episode.
yes, down to Zoom episode is to get off of the app, right? So I would say go to Snap before giving your number. I don't know. I feel like giving your number is a commitment.
No, I was just gonna say that. I've seen so much stuff online about how it's like, I didn't ask for your Snap, I'm an adult. Like, things of like, Snap is for children, why aren't we communicating like adults? And I kind of see it. However, Snap has been around for a minute. Like, when Snap was it's like a thing, we were kids, yes, like when it first came out, but it never went away. It's not like only kids have it. Like, I think people our age and up to guys that are like 25 never got off Snapchat. So I think it's just become a new way to communicate, not in an immature way, but just in maybe a more efficient way, maybe in a less committal way, where you can kind of do that intermediary step. Don't you agree?
I definitely agree. And also, like, to Sarah Brown's point, shout out Sarah Brown.
Yeah, we love.
By snapping the person, you also kind of get their like essence and like aura, and also if they're catfishing you. So it's like, I don't know. I enjoy a good Snapchat, but yeah, I do see it being like, oh, you're too old for this. But to your point, like, we grew up with it too.
I think if you have like a 35-year-old guy being like, what's your Snap? Then that's a red flag. Yeah. But if it's a 25-year-old guy who was young when Snap started, it doesn't, like, the old guys, it's creepy because they got Snap just to talk to young girls. I think that's where the creepiness comes from. And that's like the Chris D'Elia, we're not going to get into it because he's a predator, but like, he was using Snapchat to like get his victims. That's gross because he's an old guy who went to Snap because that's where the young girls are. Guys our age and maybe a little bit older, like guys in our range, always had Snap. So it's not like it's a predatory thing. I think that's where the disconnect is. Normalize Snapchat. It's fine, unless you're old. That's all I have to say. I agree, though. I think Snap is a good. I don't like to jump to numbers because I think it just gets messy. Like, I have too many numbers of guys that I genuinely never had interest in, like, pursuing. But it was just like, oh, I guess I'll text. So now I have these numbers of random freaking guys who I'm never going to meet. And now I'm just like, it's confusing. Snapchat. Also, build your Snap presence. Like, I'm trying to get viral, you know?
Trying to get viral. I would also say with Snapchat, it takes like the formality away in the beginning, and that could be like very nerve-wracking. Like giving the number, it's like, oh my gosh, hi, my name is Emma. Like, what is up? Whereas Snap, I'm just like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't. I don't really give a hoots.
I don't give a hoots either. I think that's a great point.
You know what I mean? Like on Snap, I'll literally dance. Like
Snap is low key.
Dances. Yeah, exactly.
I think
you'll see me with no makeup on.
Yes. And don't you want that? People probably out here thinking I'm catfishing because I'm just like, it's fine. No, I agree. We are so on the same page. I'm curious if other people are too. If you disagree, let us know why, and we'll tell you why you're wrong. Okay, step 3, the video chat date. I think it's impossible to avoid at this point. If things are getting serious-ish with a person, you're gonna want some like extended communication on a FaceTime, on a Zoom, on a something.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's definitely like the next step. If like you don't get there within 2 weeks, then I'll be like, what is the point of this? You know?
Like if you're both not willing to do that, that says something greater that I don't think it's worth pursuing.
Yeah. And can I say something just in general? I feel like with this quarantine dating, are people getting more serious about dating compared to like just a hookup situation if you see like a guy at the bar or something like that? You know what I'm saying?
Yes. And I'm curious what you think about it. Here's what I think about it. I don't think it changes anything. I think the guys who just wanted to sleep around are out here just sexting all day long, not worried about actually getting to know anybody. I think the guys who were out here wanting a relationship to begin with, pandemic or not, are still actively trying to find a relationship. I don't think anything changed. Because I see both.
True.
Right?
I see both too. And that like maybe going into it, you kind of just wanted to be an F-boy, but then due to circumstances.
Boy, catching feels.
Yeah, cue up that song, Catching Feelings.
Catching feelings from you. That's a great song.
That's a great song.
I'm
Oh my
jamming to that
god.
today because my cushion feels a little.
Oh!
Okay, I agree though. So, okay, talking about FaceTime. I've done FaceTime dates more than anything. I haven't done a Zoom date because it's like two people while you Zoom in.
We've done group Zoom dates.
We've done group Zoom dates and we're not doing that anymore. I'm so over the group Zoom. Like, we're not. X.
Yeah, we're done with that.
We're so done with that. I've been doing mostly FaceTime, I would say, more than anything else. But I did one on the Hinge app itself.
Right.
Now you can video chat right on Hinge. And he was very nice, but we did it just too late at night. And like, I don't know. He worked for a yogurt company. He seemed nice, but I just don't know if there's a future there. Chobani. Isn't that cool?
Oh, that's really cool.
Like, it's like he's not working for like Yoplait. Like this.
I was gonna say not Yoplait, it's Chobani.
Anyway, he was very nice. We connected on Instagram, so maybe something will flourish. I'm not sure, but I like that it's a feature on Hinge now because it's less committal. You don't have to exchange numbers. You can get a feel for it and then kind of go from there. I'm happy with it.
I agree. Again, I think it's like the next step in that, like but I think if it's worth it or like if it seems like it's going in that direction, like don't be afraid about it. Like the worst thing that could happen is that it's weird and awkward and they're just like, oh, my mom's calling me for dinner, bye.
Exactly. Like, such an easy out. Yeah, my phone died. Oh man, so
shoot, like, oh, my internet, man.
It's just like a nice, easy, non-committal thing to do. Here's my question to you, Emma. Because based on my study that I was talking about before, the national average for an introductory video chat date is about 30 minutes, which I found surprising. All of mine have been way longer.
I agree with you. Mine have been way longer.
Isn't that interesting? Maybe that just means
30 minutes.
I know, 30 minutes goes by fast to me. My problem though is I just don't know when to get off the phone. Like there's been some that I wanted to end it in 30 minutes, but then it's like, it just feels too awkward and I'm like scared to be like, oh, well, gotta go. So I feel like some of them have lingered too long. But some of them have just been great. And like, I don't even realize the time is passing. And I'm like, oh my God, it's nighttime. You know?
I can see the moon.
Yeah. You see the moon?
Interesting. No, I think it depends on the person you're talking to. Like if it's really bad, it's just like, I'm going to be like, no, like internet is down. Sorry, bad connection. But if it's good.
I agree. All right. I'm happy with that. Interesting. What about, okay, how oh my God, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Because I'm drinking.
I know, I'm getting a little.
No, I get so red in the face, that's how you know. Emma, signs of a good FaceTime date versus a bad FaceTime date. Like, what are some things, maybe like an X's and O's almost for FaceTime dates themselves? What are you looking for? What is a red flag?
So, I don't know if you can attest to this, Rachel, but I'm just going to read what I wrote. Okay. You're both okay with awkward silence and you acknowledge that it's okay to have awkward silence. I think that's quite important in any relationship though, that like you don't have to consistently keep talking, even though like I do like to ramble sometimes in that awkward silence situations, but I feel like everybody does. But I think like don't make the awkward silence awkward. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. A great FT date, just have fun with it. Like there's gonna be awkward silence. Obviously.
Way to meet somebody. Any first date is awkward, regardless of if it's online or not. Like it's always weird. So just lean into it, I think.
Exactly.
What I was gonna say to you, not like deal breaker things, but something I've noticed with some FaceTime dates I've been on is it seems very apparent to me that the guy has like a list of questions and it feels very interview-like, where it's like there's no back and forth. It's just like, oh, so what do you like to do? And you could tell that he's not even listening. Like he's just, and I don't, like I'm not faulting him for it. I think it's just like maybe nerves and like you're just like so focused on keeping it flowing and like making it natural that you're just like.
So wait, did you say that the guy had a list of questions or we had a list
it's to me that he would ask one question and before I even answered it, he was already like thinking of the next question and just like rapid fire into that next one. It was never like a conversation. Like that I think is bad. Like let it like converse. If you say something, respond. Don't just like have a weird question.
Yeah, I was gonna say if it's more natural and more of like a hangout rather like a Zoom call like this, like we're just having a conversation rather than like the 36 questions to fall in love. Let's go. You know what I mean?
Each other's eyes for 4 whole minutes.
Who would you have dinner with?
The sun is also a star. I'm so into it. No, I think it's been interesting to see though. And also I just feel like I'm getting more comfortable with the more it's like anything else. The more you do it, the more natural it feels and you can get to know people more organically, even in a
What's the worst that can happen?
Exactly. This is all about putting yourself out there. Like, let this be the time to shoot your shot.
Do it for the girls who can't.
No rules. All of our truisms hold true here. Okay, here's another thing I found according to experts. Experts say that video chat dating will remain post-quarantine as a common preliminary step because it's easy. There's no check to split. You don't have to worry about money. You don't need to like organize logistics of where you're going to meet, what you're going to order, what are you going to do, what outfit are you going to wear, kind of. It's all just easier, and that way you know if you vibe. Are you happy about that?
I think it definitely like helps with catfishing or like making sure you're gonna actually meet with like a safe individual and that you'll be in a safe environment, which I guess is key. And I guess, but is it the lazy way to do things? I don't really know.
That's what I'm thinking. I think a lot of the fun of first dates is all like the hype of it and organizing it and like being like, what if he suggests to go? I think that says a lot about him. Getting ready and getting excited for it and going out into the city, in our case, and like going to a new place and having a new experience, like that's all part of the fun for me.
And I think even like meeting up with the person, even if it's like you're not vibing, like you can still have fun with it. You know what I'm saying? You're still meeting a new individual that you could like become friends with or like.
Totally. And I almost like I'm almost like preemptively nervous about like, oh, I don't want to waste my first encounter with somebody on a FaceTime call when we could experience something really cool together. You know what I mean?
And I was going to say that like the physical connection still is like a big
important
thing. Just like the vibes being next to each other, like you'll feel it. And I think that's important in a relationship.
I agree.
Which at first I didn't think was very necessary, like the physical connection or like the vibes between, but it's very important, I think. And I feel like I'm going to say it, after quarantine, people are just going to go at it with the person they see across the bar. Like they're just going to go for it. Like there's going to be no dating for 2 years around and people are just going to go at it with whoever they see.
Yeah.
I know that's a big claim there.
No, I like where your head's at. And honestly, I hope so. I just hope we don't have to wear masks for the rest of our lives, in which case that would be impossible. We'll see.
Yeah, you're right. You're definitely right about that. But
time will tell. But I don't know. I'm curious how it's all going to go, but I'm excited. I don't know. We're all experiencing it together. There's beauty and solidarity. You know our vibe here. Anyway. Okay, I have an interjection.
Sure.
How do you, Emma, feel about dating without any initial potential for like immediate in-person interaction of any kind? Normally when you're swiping, like pre-COVID, we'd be swiping and it's like, oh, am I going to meet this person? Are we going to fall in love? Like, are we going to have like really hit it off the first time we meet and like our eyes will lock and it's love at first sight, blah, blah, blah. Like all of that is a possibility. Now it's kind of off the table. Do you think this helps you as a dater or do you think this hurts you as a dater?
I think it helps. Like it gives me the confidence to just like maybe swipe on a person that I wouldn't think that I would be swiping or just like reach out to a person that maybe I wouldn't. I don't know. I think it just gives you the confidence because it's like, again, like what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah, I agree with that. But my issue, I guess, or my worry is that when things do start to like cross the line and become maybe a little bit more serious and you're actually starting to be like, what if this could be a thing with this guy? Then I start to panic of like, okay, well, it's not an immediate possibility. And what does it mean if we're just FaceTiming for the next, I don't know how many months, and if we're not in the same city for the next, I don't even know how long. And then it's like, is it worth it? Like I start spiraling in that way. So I feel like it's stressing me out more without the opportunity. It started off as this carefree da-da-da-da-da, but then I think when you, like, meet somebody that could be a thing, you're like, oh, shit, like, what do I do?
Yeah, no, I mean, you're definitely right. It's just, like, how long can this, like, going back and forth last? Like, it's kind of like, oh, okay. Like, a month or two later, like, you kind of know it's gonna happen, but, like, you don't want to admit it to yourself, which is really sad, actually. Like, really sad.
No, it is. And now, like, I'm in the thing of, it's like, okay, what if, like, maybe we're like him and Han about maybe meeting up somewhere, but we live in different places in the country, and it's like, I can't agree to, like, stay a weekend with you somewhere because you're still a stranger from the internet. Like, I feel like I know you, but I don't know. So I just feel like you're caught between a rock and a hard place. Like, it's just hard to maneuver, and I'm only now starting to experience it, and it sucks. Like, I just feel like I'm stuck. Shout out to my internet boyfriend. No, I'm just kidding.
Literally, it's in her phone. It says internet boyfriend.
I saved his number as internet boyfriend.
That is really funny. That's too good. But yeah, there is like a sad component to that.
I know.
Think about it. That's.
And I'm like in my feels about that. I didn't mean to bring it down, but that's that was my interjection. I had to make sure anyway. But that kind of leads me into my next point. So if step 1 is picking your app, step 2 is getting off the app, step 3 is a video chat call, then I think step 4 would be initiating the in-person encounter. That's big. I don't know. I think a lot of it is like, are you going to make it that far?
Right. No, it's like, I'll believe it when I see it. I don't know. But maybe it's like fun to make those plans together if you're really feeling each other.
It's cute as hell.
But then, yeah, it's cute as hell. But I hope it happens. You know what I mean? It's like,
I think all we can do is kind of be like, well, we'll see. Like, so it's hard. I don't know. We're just kind of stuck in a weird point in time. But I don't know. Things are on the up and up. We're gonna have a vaccine someday. Like, I'm not worried.
I know.
It's gonna be fine. Okay, we really did run the gamut here again. We always get into some interesting stuff. This is really fun.
I love it.
July, man. So, okay, to wrap up, I suppose, have you changed your mind? Like, I don't think you did. Left on red, white, and blue. Is it okay to ghost in a quarantine? See, we made our way up to like lovey-dovey. Like, I think my takeaway, I'm just going to cut you off and say what I think of it. Is it okay to ghost in a quarantine? I say only if you would have in real life. And by that, I mean, don't let quarantine be your excuse for ghosting. If it's like a one-time thing where like you exchange a few texts and then never talk again after that night, like you ghosted each other. Like, I'm not mad at that.
Sure.
I think it's okay to do like a slow ghost of like, say you rushed into a video chat, it didn't go great, and then you kind of slow fade him out. I don't know, I do that because it's just kind of like, he's gonna get the idea. I shouldn't, but I do. But I think once you're at the point that we were talking about of like, maybe you're catching feels, maybe you're wishing you were meeting up in real life, maybe you're actively making plans to do just that, you cannot ghost. No matter what happens. You can't leave him on red all the time. No, I'm just kidding.
Every time.
You agree?
I definitely agree. I don't know. It's just like the premise of it. It's like, deep down, we know that you're a better person and we are a better person too. So like, we at least should give that person.
Yeah. I think even though it's online
or something.
Yeah. Even though it's online, feelings are still involved after a certain point, so you have to be respectful of that. What I will say, though, is my main takeaway from this episode is the breadcrumbing thing. I think we're all doing that.
That's very interesting. I've never heard the term before, but now I'm like, kind of, should I be conscious of it? Like, I should be a better person for this. No, I
don't think it's inherently bad. I think it's something we just naturally do. I just think it's interesting to consider. Like, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but do you feel like you've done that since the quarantine? I feel like I think you'd be hard pressed to find someone who hasn't sent a random text to someone that maybe one day in the past you were kind of interested in.
And to your point, it's also with like friendships too, and like people that you surround yourself with in general.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting.
It's just interesting to keep in your mind as you're enjoying your 4th of July festivities. Light up a firecracker or two and wave your American flags. Cheers to that. Also, I have to say, I didn't make a note of my Wild Fox of the day. I'll show you mine. I'm wearing my First Lady shirt. It's my favorite shirt, but I want to make it clear that I'm talking Michelle Obama, okay? We don't F with the Trump administration. I'm just going to say it. I feel confident saying that.
It's true. It's true.
If you made it this far, you deserve to know my political
I think they kind of know already, like, by listening.
Very vocal.
I hope so.
Anyway, even though it's probably a weird Independence Day in America right now, we're making the best of it here on the podcast. Hope you make the best of it. Always be learning, always be taking in information from people who are smarter than you and have different perspectives than you. I think we've been doing a good job of that, Emma, keeping each other in check and kind of staying on the right path.
You're definitely holding me accountable, which is good, so thank you.
Thank you, too. I think I don't know. It's cool to see this evolution of our friendship with I don't even want to say political climate, but you know what I mean, like just the state of America right now. Mm-hmm. I think it's cool to see how relationships are evolving and changing and something to pay attention to. Gets
me very emotional. Like literally I would text you and be like, I'm crying just hearing your voice.
No, me and Emma have been going through it. We've been more emotional. I was at a bachelorette party the other day, and Emma was texting me, and I literally started crying. I had to go to the bathroom because we were just, like, having a moment of, like, I so appreciate, and, like, I was crying. I had to get myself together. I was like, are you okay? I just love love. Like, I was just
we love love. That's why we're talking about this.
Anyway.
This was a great episode.
Weird end to the episode. Oh, I wanted to say my whole spiel. Hang on.
Oh, sure.
Anything to add? I have to pull up a thing. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm going to cut this out of the podcast, but if you're watching on YouTube, this is the kind of behind the scenes content we're talking about. I want to start doing the thing where you like all the good podcasts do it. They have like a script of things that they read at the end of an episode.
Oh, yeah.
Like I'm trying to like get some consistency in our recording, so I'm trying to do that. I just didn't copy and paste it into this outline, so I'm stalling.
That's okay.
Scroll.
Hey, YouTube fans.
Yeah, thank you for being here on YouTube. I wonder if it's the same people. I wonder if it's a whole different crowd. I have no idea.
It's just my dad. Again, my dad is like a super fan of this.
Is your dad a YouTube or a podcast, like a listener or a watcher?
I think a listener, but also he's dabbled in the watching. Like the first time you posted
I love
it, I think. Yeah, he's a fan. He's a fan.
I know, I'm a fan of him too. Okay, I'm gonna do my spiel, Emma, and then I'll give you a look, and then you do the I'm Emma Spoldy, and I'll do I'm Rachel. Okay. Okay, thank you guys so much for listening. This has been another great episode. You can find our blog on Instagram at her.blog.life. You can read past articles at herbloglife.online. Or you can find us on YouTube for behind-the-scenes videos. Just search Rachel Malik on YouTube. As always, thanks for listening. We will see you next Sunday for another episode.
I'm Emma Spoldy.
And I'm Rachel Malik. This has been the Her Life Blogcast.
Happy 4th.
Happy 4th. Okay.